Good afternoon, my friends. Welcome back to the channel. Hitchhiking Yeti here. Thank you so much for joining me today. We are here in Disney's Castaway Cay today, and this is our last stop for a week-long cruise on the newest Disney ship, the Disney Treasure. We had a fabulous time. It was so much fun, but today is all about Disney's Castaway Cay, and we're going to get into some secrets and some filming locations here on the island. It should be a lot of fun. And also, when we made port this morning, I was able to see a few celebrities right away. That's right, we actually got to see Kermit the Frog and Miss Piggy filming a piratey themed, I guess it was like a pirate themed commercial for the Disney Treasure, possibly. I have no idea. I couldn't hear what they were saying, but I know Kermit the Frog was totally rocking a pirate hat during his little speech that he was doing. All right, all that being said, we got some cool stuff to do today, so let's get after it. All right, as we stand here and we're looking back at the docked Disney Treasure, back in the day, probably about 15 years ago, give or take, this used to be the location when you was leaving the ship, coming on the Castaway Cay. If you looked off to your left, right here in this little bay area, you could see Davy Jones' ship, the Flying Dutchman from Pirates of the Caribbean movies. I think that would have been so awesome. I don't really know why they moved it. I would imagine it probably took a battering from some hurricanes over the years, and that's the reason it was gone. And but there is a little relic here on the island that we're going to look for today. Now, I'm making no guarantees we're going to find it, but there's a couple of cannons that I read about online that was a prop on the actual Flying Dutchman in the movies, Dead Man's Chest and World's End. And they're supposed to be on this island somewhere. We're going to look for them today. Like I said, I'm not making any promises because a lot of things change from time to time at this island. They move stuff around and things like that. But we are going to give it a shot today and keep our eyes peeled for it as we kind of explore around. So speaking of exploring, let's go ahead and begin. All right, I made it over here to the barbecue area. This is called Cookies. And they also have a Cookies 2 also, in this here, they have all your fountain drinks and things like that. We got some fruits and snacks over here. Right over here, some more fountain drinks. So just giving you a little lay of the land as I walk through to some of the locations I want to actually show you. Definitely want to go out to Pelican Plunge to start with because I think that is an awesome spot to go get a drink and just take in some good photos and some pictures and things like that. So, ooh, right here, soft serve ice cream. That's what I'm talking about. All you care to enjoy. Gotta say, I'm very happy that it's turned into more of an overcast day today. Look at these palm trees here. I actually see a coconut. Some coconut growing in that one. Palm trees are huge here. Very plentiful. But this makes me very happy because I get to be cool today as I explore. It's always easier when it's cooler and overcast than it is when it's hot and you're melting when you're trying to make an exploration video on an island somewhere. All right, one of the first places I want to take you to is the Pelican Point Overlook because I think that is a great, like, kind of hidden spot that you don't see people go to a lot, but it is a great location for pictures. And you have to walk by the Pelican Plunge to get there. And I think that is another awesome spot with slides and stuff to go have a good time with your family while you're here at Castaway. But the first thing I want to show you, the first secret we're going to get into is these cannons right here were actually used in the movie Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest, and World's End. These cannons were actually used as props on Davy Jones' ship, which was called what? The Flying Dutchman. I think that is really cool. I read about this online before I got here. I was really worried I was not going to find them because I was thinking they was at the first tram location, not this one. This is a tram drop-off location, but these two are actually props from the movie, according to Google, the internets. And I found it on a few other websites, so I didn't just take one and take its word for it. But I think that is so cool because I've watched those movies so many times. I absolutely love the Pirates of the Caribbean, at least the first three movies. The other two, not so much, but I really did enjoy the story from the first three. So if you're here on Castaway Cay and you want to see some cool relics from those movies, right there you go. Right there is Davy Jones' cannons from his ship. All right, I'm so pumped we got to see some actually used props from the movie Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest, and World's End. And now we're going to head on out here to Pelican Point. Make a quick little stop out here and look around. And while we're out here, I'm going to fill you in on a little bit of the history about this island you may or may not know about. because like I said in the beginning, Disney did not always own this island. They actually purchased it. But before they purchased it, it really had a very interesting history. And we're going to fill you in on that today. All right, this area right here is the Pelican Point Overlook. And check out the Pelican Plunge. Look at that. Is that not awesome? I think that is just so cool. You know, all the little things. They even got these like squirter cannons that you can partake in to squirt out there and try to hit people. But this is just a cool little place. Look at that splash over there, that splash pad. Yeah, that is pretty cool. And then up there at the top, if you notice, there is a hidden Mickey life preserver up there. So pretty awesome. All right, we are here. This here is Pelican Point Heads Up Bar. Just check this out, how beautiful this is out here. What a view. Even though it's overcast, that water still looks very inviting, very beautiful, that aqua color. When the sun's out, it just pops way more, but I hope the camera does it justice on just how absolutely gorgeous this area is. And this is one of my favorite places. If somebody says, where can I get a good picture at? I love this spot because you get a picture of the beautiful aqua waters and you get a picture of the ship that you arrived on in the background. And I just think that is well worth the walk over here. It's not a far walk by no means, but you know, you just got it right over there is the family beach and the snorkeling area. So you just got to make your way just around the corner a little bit, past Cookies and the restaurants, and make your way out this little walk. It's not too bad. So to get into some of the history of Disney's Castaway Cay, it was originally called Gorda Cay. All right, so when I was there filming this, for some reason, I called it Gorda Cay, and it was actually called Gorda Cay. So my apologies. Please forgive me. Let's continue on with the story. Which comes from the Spanish word that means round. The name was changed to Castaway after Disney Cruise Line purchased the island back in 1997. Castaway Cay is a private island here in the Bahamas. Disney spent about $25 million over 18 months to develop this island, dredging 50,000 truckloads of sand from the Atlantic Ocean to expand the beaches, constructing 1,700-foot channel to allow a Disney ship to dock here directly on the island. And the island opened to guests for the first time July 30th, 1998. Man, I tell you one thing, there is a lot of people renting bicycles today, and I think that is a great idea. With this overcast going on, a little cooler temperatures, you know, in the upper 70s, it is absolutely perfect day. Did you go running, go for a jog on the trail, which we're going to head back that way, because there is a tower that we can go to really get a overhead view of the island itself. I've been back there quite a few times, and we will definitely make our way back down there. But yeah, it would be a great day to do a little bicycling. All right, as we walk out on the beach here, right here is the sandbar, and I'm going to show you a really cool spot to hang out here at Castaway Cay. It's not a hidden spot, but it is a place with a really big palm tree that really makes a nice shady spot. You don't even need an umbrella, but it's just on the other side of the sandbar here. So right over here is the cabana guests only. They actually got it netted off, but anybody who rents cabanas, this is their little private beach they have here. And then if you turn around just to the left, you have the sandbar right here, and you see this big overhanging palm tree. This right here next to the sandbar, I think is an excellent spot to come and kind of stake out your own beach area, because number one, you got plenty of shade. If you like to kind of be in the shade, not be in direct sunlight, that is one monstrous tree that puts out a nice big footpath of shade. I highly recommend that location. But you got to get here quick, because I mean, I got over here fairly fast today and it was already taken. So they've already got plenty of towels. Everybody's already gobbled up that spot, but that is one of the better locations here at Castaway Cay to get you a little shade without actually having an umbrella. All right, here is a nice little map, little overview. You can see where the ship's docked right here. We kind of started our vlog off right here in this area where the Flying Dutchman used to sit back in the day. Kind of wandered through here. Here's Cookies 1. We've made our way over here to Cookies 2 area because I wanted to show you this cool little hidden spot over here. It's not really hidden, but it is kind of a neat place. Now I'm going to make our way back here to this runway. This island does actually have a runway here that's usable, and as you see, they have like a crash plane over here, which I think is pretty cool, which kind of gets into some of the darker history about this island we're going to get into, but I want to get over here and show you this runway first, and we're going to make our way back here to the lookout tower, and then eventually make our way over here to Serenity Bay, the adult beach, because this is actually a filming location that I want to talk about a movie that was filmed back in 1984, and it starred Tom Hanks and Daryl Hannah. Maybe you know about it. It's an oldie but a goodie, but yeah, some of it was filmed right over here. All right, it's a little breezy out here. I had to get my mic back out, but this right here is the runway area here at Castaway Cay. So we're going to head down this runway a little bit further. We're going to take a right, head back into the jungle path, and go back here to the lookout tower and talk about some of the darker past that this island has kind of went through over the years. All right, check this out. We are on the runway here at Castaway Cay. As you can see, the name Castaway is actually spelled out here on the runway. Right here is the C. You got A-S-T right there. So pretty cool. And then check off to the right over here. It says bike path, but look right there. You have this cool airplane. That is so freaking awesome. I love this type of stuff that they've kind of littered throughout the island to give it that Castaway vibe. Prior to Disney's purchase of Gorda Cay, it had a checkered past. It was first settled in 1783 by loyalists fleeing the American Revolutionary War. It's rumored to have been a hiding place and a rest stop for pirates long before that. The rumors gained credibility then as treasure hunters back in the 1950s actually found 3 gold coins and a 72-pound silver block that belonged to San Pedro. The San Pedro was a ship that belonged to King Philip IV of Spain and was sunk or seemingly attacked in 1783. So yeah, this island does have a dark past even with pirates. All right, I have made my way to pretty much the center of the island now. And this here is the lookout tower. So let's go up to the top and do what you do in a lookout tower. Let's go look out. All right, we made it up here to the top. Absolutely beautiful. You can see the ship off in the distance there, the very large Triton class Disney treasure. Kind of just give you a little scope of everything. Oh my goodness, I don't think I've ever really noticed that right there before. I don't know what that little outhouse looking thing is, but that is pretty cool. We're going to make our way down that path right there. It's going to take us back over to the runway. And then right over here on the other side of these tree line right here, I don't know if you can see that beautiful aqua blue water right through there, but that is actually Serenity Bay. And that is a filming location for a movie that I'm going to give you the answer to that here momentarily. But I still have a little bit more to talk about some of the dark history here on this beautiful island. All right, so I made my way back out here to the runway. And I thought I would talk to you about the runway. And this looks like a great spot. I think we just don't have a seat right here. But look how cool this is. We have just this one little long red flower just right here behind this bench. So this looks like a great spot to just talk to you a little bit more about the history and who built this runway. Do you think it was Disney? Do you think they built the runway? You might be surprised with my answer. So as we now know, in the late 1700s, there was some pirates that used to come to this island. They would bury coins and things like that. People has found some buried treasure here on the island, but over the next 200 years it was leased as farmland by farmers on neighboring islands, and it was sustained a small village on the southern part of the island. In the 1960s, a businessman named Alvin Tucker purchased 150 acres and began renovating for tourist purposes. He built the airstrip here in the middle of the island in order to allow potential tourists and building supplies to have another way of arriving besides boats. So I've made my way down here to the very end of the runway to continue my story about Mr. Tucker. Unfortunately for Tucker, rather than becoming a tourist destination, smugglers and drug runners began using the airstrip frequently and terrorizing residents. Tucker, fed up with all the crime, sold his share of the island to a private firm called Leisure Club. It turns out that Leisure Club was owned by none other than American drug kingpin Frank Barber. It's the source of online gossip is whether Tucker was aware of the buyer. Did he actually sell it to the drug smugglers, or did he want his cut of what they were already taking? Either way, Barber began running his entire empire from this island in 1983. Authorities seized $100 million worth of cocaine from the island and arrested Barber, thus ending the drug trade on the island Gorda Cay. Gorda Cay became property of the Bahamian government shortly after that, and as we know from history, Disney leased the island in the mid-90s and eventually turned it into this beautiful place we now know as Disney's Castaway Cay. There you go. There's you some history about this island. Maybe some of you did not know. I know I didn't know it until just recently. Okay, now I'm going to show you a filming location for a Tom Hanks movie right out here behind us on Serenity Bay. All right, my friends, I have made it out here to Serenity Bay, and this here is the adult beach area here at Castaway Cay, just for adults only, 18 and older. And it's actually very quiet over here. Look how pristine and just neat the water is. It's just very shallow also. So the movie that was filmed here, 1984, Daryl Hannah, Tom Hanks actually played in a movie called Splash. Maybe you've heard about it. But in the movie, Tom Hanks is saved by Daryl Hannah's character, which she is, yes, not Ariel, but she is a mermaid in that very movie. And somewhere down that beach that I cannot walk to, but somewhere down that way is like a rocky area. And that is actually where I read online that the movie Splash, the moment where she saves his life, brings him up on the beach, and they meet for the first time, and he literally falls in love with her immediately as she whisks up without saying anything after he asks her like a few questions like who you are and stuff. She just gives him a smooch and just kisses him, and then runs into the water and starts swimming around, you know, because she is a mermaid. But this is supposedly where it all happened. Splash, 1984. Pretty cool. Something that I definitely did not know once again, and I'm happy to share it with you. All right, I'm on the tram headed back to the family beach to meet back up with my wife. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I had a great time making it. It was so much fun exploring the island. I think we pretty much found everything that I set out to find today. But all that being said, if you're new to the channel, please go ahead and think about subscribing. Until next time, friends, I am the Hitchhiking Yeti, and I will see you in my next adventure. Y'all stay safe, and I hope to see you all again very, very soon.